But now this new news is bigger than baseball. Now baseball is insignificant. Now all of a sudden, some of the videos that I wanted to make in the future about Josh Hamilton, when I was going to talk about, what could have been, talk about how great this guy was, talk about his story. I don't know if anyone cares anymore.
And he drives it into right center field, hit a ton. This baby is way back on here.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Hum Baby Baseball channel. Today we're going to talk about Josh Hamilton. He's been in the news lately, and unfortunately, it's not good news. It's a horrible situation going on, and obviously he's been in horrible situations before, but this is one of the most disturbing ones yet. And Josh Hamilton, a guy who I've always liked, one of my favorite players. He's a non-Giant, never been with the Giants, but one of my favorite non-Giants. This is a guy who went through so much early in his career. He looked like he was never going to make it to the major leagues. He was hooked on cocaine. He had just so many problems. He had injuries. He wouldn't play for 2-3 years. The Rays finally, the Tampa Bay Rays, Devil Rays at the time said, we're done with you. He was their #1 pick. This guy was so good, yet at some point it looked like he was never going to make it, and they finally moved on from him. Reds give him an opportunity, and it's like he never missed a beat. It didn't matter that he missed all those, just how good this guy was. It didn't matter that he missed all those years. It didn't matter how many problems he had. He comes in with the Reds and he's awesome. He goes to the Rangers. He makes the All-Star team 5 years in a row. He had that unbelievable home run derby in 2008. His talent is just through the roof. That's one of the reasons I liked him, but I also liked him because he made that comeback. It looked like he got his life together. It looked like he turned to religion. It looked like he was going to be okay. And it seemed like a really good guy. I've read his book. I followed his career. I always rooted for Josh Hamilton. Even saw him play in 2015 when the Rangers played the Giants. I went to a game. Hamilton hit a home run. So it was really cool, even though obviously it wasn't good for the Giants, but it was cool to see. And guy was just one of my favorites, man. And I always felt like if he didn't have those problems early on, if he didn't have all those drug problems and all that craziness, this dude was going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and I'm talking easy. He's hitting well over 500 home runs. This dude is one of the best hitters of all time if he doesn't have the problems that he had. But now this new news is bigger than baseball. Now baseball is insignificant. Now all of a sudden, some of the videos that I wanted to make in the future about Josh Hamilton, when I was going to talk about, what could have been, talk about how great this guy was, talk about his story. I don't know if anyone cares anymore because this guy's getting charged with injury to a child. This dude apparently messed up his 14-year-old daughter in a bad way. And you can read the news, read the articles about it. I don't even want to get into details because it's hard to talk about. But it looked like he physically and verbally abused her sometime in September, and he's getting charged with a major felony that could cause him to go to prison for up to 10 years. So this is horrible news for his family. Obviously, you got to be thinking about his daughter because she is the victim here, and this is bad, man. And this is a guy who always have known, and everyone who's followed him has known, he's not exactly, the most reliable, sharpest guy. You don't know what he's capable of. He's got a few loose wires up there. I mean, he's not, this guy's a little out there, man. And he had a few, problems even with the Rangers, and when he went to the Angels, and there was some he would always crop up in the news doing something crazy, but then, it seemed like he would get it back together. And being someone who had turned to religion, it seemed like he was using that as kind of something to keep him going. And as long as he had a good support group around him, he seemed like he was going to be okay, and just hope that in retirement he'd be okay. And I was always hoping in the last couple of years that we would see him come back as a coach or something, because maybe that would help him. I don't know. I just always worried about this guy because you never know. But this is something I didn't expect. I didn't expect the guy would just go off. I guess maybe I should have expected it. You don't know what's going to happen. We don't know these athletes personally. We just see them play. We don't want to think that these athletes are capable of such things, but, a lot of them are. And it's really bad. And, if Josh Hamilton is guilty of this, if what his daughter says happened, then he's going to get convicted, and he deserves to get convicted, and he deserves to serve his sentence. And he could get up to 10 years in prison. And, after everything he's done and everything he's been through, he's been fortunate that he was able to get through that and have a major league career where he's an all-star and he makes a ridiculous amount of money. I don't know what he was on. Maybe he was on something. Maybe he was drunk. Who knows? No excuse. There's absolutely no excuse for his behavior if true. While we all make mistakes, while nobody's perfect, there are certain things, there are certain acts that are just despicable that pretty much every common sense person is going to universally agree, yeah, that's messed up. You need to get in trouble for that. I would hope that. Regardless of what you think of Josh Hamilton as a baseball player, regardless of religion, regardless of politics, regardless of all that, there are certain acts that are just disgusting. Okay? I would say beating up a 14-year-old girl would be on the list. So Josh Hamilton's going to get what's coming to him if he's guilty. He hasn't been convicted yet, but he's being charged is what the reports are saying. So we'll have to just follow the story and see what happens. Again, I loved him as a baseball player. I loved his story. I've read his book. I followed his career. This guy was unbelievable. That home run derby was thrilling in 2008. And I always wondered what would have been, how good could he have been, what kind of numbers would he have put up. But now this new news, baseball has become insignificant. We have to think about his family, think about his daughter, and hopefully Josh Hamilton gets more help that he may need. And hopefully Josh Hamilton can get his life someday together and become a better person, because we thought that this day had come. Maybe it hasn't. Apparently it hasn't. So horrible news, horrible story. We'll keep an eye on it. I'll keep an eye on it, and we'll see how it develops. But yeah, Josh Hamilton being charged with felony child abuse with injury to a child could be a sentence of up to 10 years in Texas where he lives. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, this is Hum Baby Baseball, where we're covering all things baseball related, including off the field stuff like this, including on the field stuff, Giants, other teams, managers, rule changes, umpires. Check out some of my previous videos. Follow me on Hum Baby BB, and I'm going to take off for now. We'll talk to you next time. See ya.
When the Giants come to town, it's bye bye baby. Every time the chips are down, it's bye bye baby. History's in the making at Oracle Park.